Hi everyone, I'm Emily. Welcome to my second Flosstube video. I'm going to be talking to you today about my progress on my cross-stitching. Now, I haven't made as much progress as I would have liked to. Of the 3 whips that I'm actively working on, I actually only got to 3 in this past month, and I didn't make all that much progress on any of them. I am playing around with some new video editing stuff, so I'm going to be trying to insert pictures I took last video showing where I was before I show you where I am, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So if you don't see pictures, then apparently it didn't work out, and if you do, then it did. So let's just jump right in and we can have a nice short little video, which sometimes people like and sometimes people don't. I always like long videos, but not artificially long. So just checking to make sure I'm grabbing these in the right order. The first one I worked on was my 12 Days of Christmas, which was a mystery stitch-along around Christmas of 2015 by Plum Street Samplers. I'm doing mine on, I need to find something white to put behind it. I'm doing mine on a random 28 count linen that I found at a thrift store, so I don't know exactly the brand or color. It's kind of a burgundy-ish color. And last time you saw it, I had done some work on the 3rd day, and I finished the 3rd day and I started the 4th, so that's pretty good progress. This pattern was originally charted to be on white fabric with red and white floss with a little bit of gold and black on a couple of days, and I'm converting it because I had the burgundy colored fabric to green. I don't remember the DMC color of the green, and I'm not even sure that the black and the gold are DMC. I don't know. It's not gold, it's just yellow. But that's what I've done on that. I'm actually pretty pleased with my progress on that. There's something else I have to say. Oh, it's a tiny, tiny piece of fabric. You can see I really don't have a lot of extra. It's just because I could barely fit it all on it, so I decided to do it. And I'm gonna finish it in a way that I'll be able to work with that tiny, tiny border. Oh, and I am doing this, I believe I said it was a 28 count linen. I am doing it 1/1, so it's very small, but a lot of fun. Now I'm going to go flip back to the rest of my pages so I can be sure to say who did what correctly. The next piece I worked on is my flower of the month for November. This was a stitch along. I also knit. A stitch along in 2010 by maurer-stroh. It is still available for free on her website, and the 12 Days of Christmas was also available for free on the website. I will have a link to a blog post in the description box, and in that blog post there'll be pictures of these projects and links to where you can find them. So this is where I got on November. It's a chrysanthemum. If you saw the last video, you'll know this was July that I had finished up, and I'm doing it based on where I want them to fit on the modeling rather than the month. Although I might actually finish this one in time for November. Not that that would do me any good, because I need to finish the rest of the 6 on this piece of fabric before I actually do anything with it. So, I finished up the green border down here. I did a bunch of green on the plants, and I did some more yellow on this chrysanthemum. Typically, I'll do like a strand of the green border and then a strand or 2 in the middle and then a strand of the green border and a strand or 2 in the middle, so that way I get a little bit less bored with the green border, and so it's not towards the end and I don't have to start with it. It's kind of spread out. So I am adding these November and chrysanthemum lettering based on I googled small cross-stitch alphabet and got one that was fairly close to what I wanted and then adapted it. Yeah, so I am doing this 3/2 on a 28 count, I believe it was a 28 count Monaco, just like a white Monaco that I dyed using some brown Rit dye. Interestingly, if you look like right here, it doesn't show up on camera very well, there's like a yellow and a pink spot because I was using a powdered dye and I didn't dissolve it as well as I needed to, and so I actually have some like little random pink and blue and brown spots on here where a single dye particle of that color sat on the fabric. So it's kind of interesting, and I've kind of positioned my flowers so that they'll cover those spots if I don't like those spots. That's where my strategic positioning fit. So because I'm intending to do these as 12 individual pieces rather than one big wall hanging, I actually have 2 pieces of Monaco that I dyed at the same time, and that I'm doing 6 flowers on each with a nice big border so I can kind of position it where I want in its 6th, and then cut it out and go from there. So I'm working on that. These guys always take forever. They're not full coverage, but they're quite full coverage. And they're pretty, they're detailed. They have a lot of colors and they have a lot of detailed stitching, so you get these nice appearances of what am I even trying to say? It looks like it's 3D. It's very well done. The other change that I made from the original pattern is I'm doing the borders in the darkest green from that block rather than in a brown across all the blocks, because I didn't need them all to match each other side by side. I just wanted them to match their own block words. So yeah, I'm making progress on that. I did not get nearly as much done on that as I was hoping to, because it's a lot of fun, but I did get more than I thought I was going to done, so that's good, and every little bit helps, right? So then, I didn't work on my 4 Heavenly Beasts Heaven and Earth Designs project. I just wasn't feeling it. I think I actually ended up working on the 12 days a little bit extra that week instead of working on the 4 Heavenly Beasts. I wanted to say 12 days again, but that was wrong. So then the last project that I've worked on since our last update is my Cliffhanger, which is a design by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it's going to look like when finished, and I'm currently working on this teeny tiny corner up here, because it's like 132 pages and it's not supersized. It's a little bit ridiculous. So I didn't get a ton on it. I've only had 1 day to work on it so far. I'm going to be working on it more this week. But here's what I have going on. Like I said, I didn't get a ton done. I only worked on it 1 day, so you're not going to see a lot of changes from the last time. I did fill in some more colors in here, and the biggest change I think you'll see is that I filled in a lot of this black down here between kind of the book pages. So, new black, filled in some color there. And I'm doing this one in 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count Lugana. I believe it's in bone. I'd have to double check that though. I forgot to pull the packaging out and check that when I was writing up my notes on this. And yeah, so that's doing nicely. I am doing this one cross country, taking the top rightmost color that I need to put in and putting in all of it until I either run out of floss or run out of color, and so on and so forth. I park down into the pages on either side. So I'm still working on the first page. And then with this guy, I like to keep a spreadsheet that tells me how far along I am. So my stats now are I am 0.76% done. So 0.75% done. Yay. I've added a new color since the last time, so I now have used 23 colors, which is 26% of all the colors in the chart. I believe it's 87? Yeah, it's 87 colors in this chart. And then my projected finish, if I continue working on it at the rate I have been, is in 2090. So I don't actually believe that's necessarily going to be accurate, but I like to use it as motivation to be like, oh, I bet if I put in a little extra work today, it'll go down to like 2083 or so, you know. It's just kind of fun. And someone in the last video actually asked me how old I would be when it was done. And I thought that was really interesting. So I would be 103 years old if I finished this in 2090, which, I mean, it's still technically possible for a human to live to 103 years. 120 is about the maximum human lifespan. So, you know, I might have up to 17 more years after that to enjoy it. I don't think that I'm actually going to live to 120 though, so, you know, we'll see. So, just kind of funny, but we'll see. I just started working on it. I've only done 1 day, and typically what happens is with each day that I work on it, it knocks a couple of years off of that estimate. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see what it looks like next month. It may actually be the same. It may be like, because it'll like decrease with each day I work on it, and then with each day that I don't work on it, it starts to increase again. So by the time you see it again, it may be around the same time, but maybe it'll be sooner. It's actually later than the last time. Last time it was 2087, and now it's 2090, so I've added 3 more years to my estimated finish by not working on it for 3 weeks. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. It's not as much as I would have liked, but it's better than nothing. And I've kind of rearranged my schedule, and I'm hoping to find more time to stitch in there. Unfortunately, the time that's best, the time when I like have good lighting and time to stitch, is also the time when I tend to be really tired and just want to take a nap. So we'll see how that works out, how the competing desires to sleep and to stitch play out over the next month. So that's all I have for today. It's a short one. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to keep up with all of my future videos. Next week's video is going to be an update on my knitting, dyeing, spinning, etc., yarny progress. So if you are interested in that, I'll see you then. If you're not interested in that, a month from now will be my next Flosstube update, and I will see you then. All right, that's all. Bye.